Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Choma and I'm about to talk about a tutorial step by step on how to fill the form i864EZ. With that being said, let's get into it. Firstly, you have to use a black ink or type in a black ink to fill this form. And also, you have to be careful while filling this form. You have to fill this form accurately when filling this form. Okay. Number 1A says, I am the petitioner of the family member sponsored on this affidavit. From 1A to 1C, your answer must be yes when filling the form i864EZ. So number 1, your answer must be yes. And number 1B, it says, I'm using my own earned or retirement income, which is documented using Internal Revenue Service. That's the IRS form, W2. And your answer is going to be yes. And number 1C, the sponsored immigrant is the only person immigrating based on the underlying visa petition. Your answer is going to be yes. All they wanted from 1A to 1C, your answer should be yes. So let's go to part 2. Information about the immigrants you are sponsoring, intending immigrants. What they want in 1A is the family name. That's the last name of the immigrant. And 1B, the first name of the immigrant. 1C is the middle name of the immigrant. 2A, it says the mailing address. The mailing address is the immigrant. 2A, the name of the mailing address of the person. You put it right there. 2B, it says the street number. The street number is going to be for the immigrant also. So 2C, if it's an apartment, if it's a street or floor, you click on whichever one. Then 2D, it says city or town. You put it right there. 2E, state and zip code. 2G, if the person have province, you put it right there. 2H, postal code, you put it right there. 2I says the country, you put it right there. So let's move on to other information. Number 3, they require the daytime telephone number of the immigrants. Number 4, the date of birth of the immigrants. Number 5 is the island registration of the immigrants, if they have. Number 6 is the USCIS online account number, if they have. Number 7 is the Social Security, if they have. So let's move on to page 2. Page 2. Part 3 says information about you, the sponsor. So 1A is the family name. That's you, the sponsor, who is sponsoring the immigrant. You have to put in your name. That's your last name first. 1B, your first name. 1C is your middle name. We move on to the mailing address. The mailing address, 2A, that's you, the sponsor. You put your mailing address. 2B, that's you, the sponsor, your street number and name. 2C, you click on which one. Is it apartment? Is it street? Is it floor? Which other one? Just click on it. 2D is city or town. 2E is state. And 2F, the zip code. 2G is the province. 2H is the postal code. 2I is the country. And number 3 says, is your current mailing address the same as your physical address? If it's your current mailing address is the same as your physical address, you click yes or you click no. And it says, if you answered no to item number 3, provide your physical address below. So that's when you're gonna fill physical address. That's when you're gonna fill from 4A to 4H if you answer no. So let's move on to other information. That's about you, the sponsor. The country of domicile, you fill it up. Date of birth, you fill it up. They also need the city or town of birth, you fill it up. They also need the state or province of birth, you fill it up. Number 9 says country of birth, you fill it up. U.S. Social Security number, you fill it up. USCIS online account number, you fill it up. Okay, let's move on to citizenship or nationality. You click on which one you are. I'm a U.S. citizen. If it's applicable to you, you click up. I'm a lawful permanent resident. If it's applicable to you, you click it up. My alien registration number, you put it right there. If you are a U.S. national, you click on U.S. national. The military service. I am currently on active duty in the U.S. Army Forces or U.S. Coast Guard. You click yes or you click no. So let's move on to part 4. Part 4 is talking about the information about your household size. It says, note, do not count any household member more than once. I know a lot of people make a lot of mistakes while doing this. I found it so hard too. But you have to read the question carefully. So it says, yourself and the person you are sponsoring on this form. That is yourself and the immigrants. You have to count both of you and put the answer in there. Then 1B is talking about your spouse. It means that maybe if you are married and the person's name is not there in 1A that you listed, if you are married and the person's name of your spouse was not included, then you indicate you put the number right there. So let's move on to 1C. Your dependent children under 21 years of age, you put it right there. Then 1D, it says, if you have sponsored any other persons on the form i864 who are now lawful permanent residents in the United States, enter the number here. So you enter the number right there. Then 1E says, if you have any other dependents listed on your most recent federal income tax return, enter the number here. And 1F, you have to add together 1A to 1E. You add it up. So let's move over to the next one. The next one is talking about part 5. It says information about your employment. It says, I am currently, you click on which one. Is it employed? Is it retired? You click on which one. So this place is talking about you, the sponsor. So if 2A, if you click you are employed, from 2A to 2C, you fill it up. But if you click you are retired, from 3A to 3B, you fill it up. Then 3B, no, then number 4, it says my current individual annual income. So that means they need your current annual income of the year, the most recent one. You put it, the income in the box. So let's move on to the federal income tax information. 5A is talking about, have you filed a federal income tax return for each of the most 3 recent years? You click yes or you click no. Note, you must attach a photocopy or transcript of your federal income tax for only the most recent year. So 5B, it says it's just optional. I have attached photocopies or transcripts of my federal income returns for my second and third most recent years. So let's move over to this place. This one is talking about my income. That's adjusted gross income on IRS form 1040EZ as reported on my federal income tax return for the most recent 3 years. Was, you start what? We start with the most recent one, that's 6A. You put the most recent tax return there. There is 6B, you put the most recent one, the second one. Then 6C, you put the third most recent tax return. And also don't forget to put the income of the year, their income, the most recent one, the second most recent one, and the third most recent tax return of the year. Let's move over to the part 6, talking about sponsors, contract, statement, contact information, declaration, certification, and signature. It says, note, read the penalties section of the form i864EZ instruction before completing this part. So you have to read this part very carefully. You have to read it very, very carefully. You have to read very, very carefully before you fill this part. So let's dive in to the next one. So the next one is part 6. It says sponsors, contract, statement, contract information, declaration, certification, and signature. So you have to read all these things, you have to read them, and you have to understand what they mean. So you have to read them. So let's dive into the sponsor statement. The sponsor statement is talking about, it says, note, select the bus, either 1A or 1B. If applicable, select the bus for item number 2. So it's talking about you, the sponsor. You talking about you. So it says either 1A or 1B. So 1A, if you are the one, like you can read and understand English, and I have read and understand every questions and instruction on this affidavit and my answer to every question. So if it's 1B, it says you have to put the interpreter name. What they mean is, if somebody interprets this form to you, you have to put in their name on 1B. Then number 2, it says at my request. That is the preparer, the person who prepared this form for you. If someone helped you to prepare the form, you have to include the person's name. Then you move over to the sponsor's contact information. Sponsor's daytime telephone number, that's number 3. Sponsor's mobile telephone number, if any, that's number 4. Sponsor's email address, that's number 5. So we move over to sponsors, declaration, and certification. So you have to read everything. You have to read and understand everything they required from. So let's move over to the next one. The next one is talking about the sponsor's contract statement, contact information, declaration, certification, and signature. This is the continued one. You have to read and understand what they mean. So under here, what they require you to do is the sponsor signature. You, the one being the sponsor, sponsoring the immigrant, they need your signature here. And they also need the month, the date, and the year. So you have to provide the date of the signature. You put the month, the date, and the year. It says, note to all sponsor, if you did not completely fill out this affidavit or fail to submit required documents listed in the instruction, USCIS or DOS may deny your request. So please, guys, you have to fill this form completely. Part 7 is talking about the interpreter contact information, certification, and signature. So on this part is talking about if someone interprets this form to you, you have to put in their first name, their given name. That's their, you have to put, 1A, you have to put in their last name. 1B, you have to put in their first name. And number 2, you have to put in the interpreter business or organization name, if any. So interpreter mailing address, they need the address of the person who interpret this form for you. So you have to fill it up 3A to 3H. So let's move over to the interpreter contact information. You have to put in their phone number, that's number 4, their daytime telephone number. Number 5 is interpreter's mobile telephone number. You have to put it right there. Number 6 is interpreter's email address. So you have to also, this is for the interpreter certification. So the interpreter certification, have to indicate what's going to be in the bus. And, 1B is talking about, I have read to the sponsor. All this is just about the interpreter. The certification. The person who interprets this form should fill up this. So let's move on to the next one. The next one is part 7. It says interpreter contact information, certification, and signature. So interpreter's signature. You put the interpreter signature, the interpreter date of signature, the month, the date, and the year. So part 8 is talking about the contact information, declaration, and signature of the person preparing this affidavit, if other than the sponsor. So what this is talking about is someone who prepared this form. So you have to put in their last name on 1A. 1B is talking about the first name of the preparer. The number 2 is the preparer business or organization name. So preparer mailing address. So you have to put in the information of the preparer mailing address from 3A to 3H. So let's move into preparer's contact information. So preparer contact information, what they needed is the daytime telephone number. They needed the preparer's mobile telephone number. They also needed the preparer email address. That's number 6. So it says preparer statement. That's for the preparer, number 7 and number 8. So let's move into the preparer certification. It says, by my signature, I certify under penalty of perjury that I prepared this affidavit at the request to the sponsor. The sponsor that reviewed this completed affidavit and informed me that he or she understands of all the information contained in and submitted with his or her affidavit, including the sponsor declaration and certification, and that all this information is complete, truth, and correct. I complete this affidavit based only on information that the sponsor provided to me or authorized me to obtain or use. So in here you have to put the preparer's signature, and the preparer's 8B is talking about the preparer's date of signature. So let's move to the last part. The last part is talking about the additional information. The additional information, if you have any additional thing to add, this is the place you're going to put everything you wanted. This is like extra space to put in your information, everything you needed on this form. This is an extra space to add any information. So guys, I think I have to stop right here. I'm so happy I did this video. This is my first tutorial video on how to fill the form i864EZ. I hope you guys enjoyed watching, and I hope you learned on how to fill the form i864EZ. Please like my channel, comment, subscribe to my channel, and please let me know what other type of tutorials you want me to do. Please drop them in the comment section below, and I will be able to answer your questions. I will see you guys in my next vlog. Thank you so much for watching, and God bless you guys. Thank you.